This is my review of Resurrection, the 6th season episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. When a mirror universe version of Bareil arrives on DS9 seeking asylum, Major Kira finds herself torn between duty and feelings for her dead lover. This is one of those episodes that just sort of exists. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's also just not very good, which kind of makes it hard to talk about. The main frustration with Resurrection is its wasted potential. There's actually a seed of a great idea here, but annoyingly the story goes in a different and far more predictable direction that leaves the whole thing feeling like a bit of a missed opportunity. This is, of course, a mirror universe episode, one of DS9's favourite concepts to play around with, but by the 6th season, the show had really run it into the ground. The concept gave the writers the chance to resurrect characters, bringing back familiar faces that would otherwise be impossible to do so, and this episode does just that, bringing back Philip Anglin's Bareil, whose main universe counterpart died back in Season 3. As is to be expected with any mirror universe crossover, Bareil is a very different man to the peaceful and respected Vedic. He's a thief, an opportunist, a man so far removed from Bajoran spirituality, he doesn't even know how to pray properly. On paper, this is a fun idea. It's always a fun idea, but this time it never really develops into anything other than a shallow character study that quickly runs out of steam. And really, isn't that just DS9's Mirror Universe arc in a nutshell? The first couple of episodes are pretty good. Crossover is actually close to being a top 10 episode for me, but by season 6, the concept had been stretched thin. Each new episode felt like a case of diminishing returns, and this episode is a great example of that. It doesn't really add anything new, it doesn't expand the mythology, it's just more mirror universe for the sake of it. Like I said, what I find most annoying is the story we could have had but didn't. Bareil arrives on the station begging for asylum rather than being sent back to the mirror universe, and given what we know of that brutal reality, can you really blame him? Right there, we've got the seed of a really interesting episode focusing on a potential refugee crisis. Imagine the floodgates opening with mirror universe counterparts desperate to escape their oppressive reality. It's classic Trek territory and prime material for DS9 to explore, a sharp allegory for immigration, displacement, and the tensions that almost always come about as a result. But no, the episode doesn't go there. Instead, we get the same old boring betrayal plot. Bareil isn't really interested in a new life in our reality. He's in league with the Intendant, with the two conspiring to steal the Orb of Prophecy in some sort of scheme to retake power in the mirror universe. How will the Orb help them achieve this? I haven't got a clue. And I don't think the writers do either. Despite the flimsy script that mostly collapses if you think about it for a second, the episode does provide some good character moments, particularly for Kira. Nanar Visitor continues to give the character depth and duality, and sells the conflicted feelings stirred up by someone she never expected to see again. Put in her position, it's hard not to feel the same way, even if it's not really her Bareil. The problem, though, is that this exact same ground has already been covered. We saw Sisko encounter the Mirror Universe version of Jennifer back in Season 3's Through the Looking Glass, and this worked much better because Jennifer's death is an important part of Sisko's entire arc. Now, Kira's grief over the loss of Bareil was certainly meaningful, but it wasn't foundational in the same way. This just feels unnecessary. We've seen this before. It feels like reheated leftovers of much better DS9. Structurally, the episode is also pretty bare. This isn't an ensemble piece. Some characters appear here and there, but the focus is almost exclusively on Kira and Bareil, and with the exception of an extended scene with Quark, there's no B-plot to break things up, which leaves the episode feeling thin and sluggish. I kept wondering what Odo was doing, wondering what was going through his head with Kira once again swept up in a romance that doesn't involve him. Just a couple of scenes like this could have given the episode more texture and added value to ongoing storylines. The eventual reveal that Bareil is working with the Intendant is not only predictable, but it's also pretty poor in execution. The Intendant's sudden appearance is something that's never really made much sense. How did she get on the station? Wouldn't she have set off an alarm or something? Her inclusion here feels more like an excuse to give Nanar Visitor the chance to once again ham it up, and while I'll never have a problem with Kinky Kira, the material's so weak that not even this can really elevate it. The resolution also comes with some ridiculous hand-waving. When Bareil ultimately, and quite predictably, has his change of heart and refuses to steal the orb, he shoots the Intendant instead. When asked how he'll avoid being executed for this pretty violent betrayal, he just shrugs and says she'll forgive him eventually. Oh, really? Are you sure? It's nonsense, but by this point the writers seem just as done with this episode as we are. If there's one small redeeming aspect of the episode, it's the performances. Philip Anglim does a great job differentiating this new Bareil from the one we knew, and he's clearly having a lot of fun, as actors so often do when given the chance to go rogue, as their Mirror Universe versions. And like I've already said, Nanar Visitor once again impresses, pulling double duty. I've always got time for her sassy and sultry evil version, and she's clearly having a lot of fun, even if the story's nowhere near good enough. Resurrection is an episode I'll forget about as soon as I'm done here. I'm honestly surprised I've been able to talk about it for this long. It's a dud of an episode, its only real achievement being how well it highlights just how tired the show's whole Mirror Universe arc had become. Frustratingly, the episode had potential in its story, but ultimately what we get is a bland betrayal plot with some recycled emotional beats. Maybe one to watch if you're a die-hard Kira enjoyer, but for me this is as forgettable as they come, and for that reason I'm giving Resurrection a 4 out of 10. But what did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? How would you rate it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more Star Trek reviews, and until next time, live long and prosper.